Hello, good morning students. Today we proceed to the third part of Ampere circuital law, which is applications of Ampere circuital law. We are to find out magnetic field at any point on circumference of a toroidal solenoid using Ampere's circuital law. Before we go for finding magnetic field at the circumference of a toroidal solenoid, we are to understand some basic concepts. What is a coil, what is a solenoid, what is a toroidal solenoid. So let us understand these terms before we go for our actual topic. Now first we take up a coil. What is a coil? If length of the winding is less than the diameter of winding, then it is called as a coil. What I said, if length of the winding is less than the diameter of the winding, then we call it as a coil. Look at the diagram. Here L is the length of the winding and D is the diameter of the winding. So L is less than the diameter. So here L is less than the diameter. Therefore, it is called as a coil. Then what is solenoid? We come to solenoid. If length of winding is more than the diameter of the winding, then it is called as a solenoid. Now look at the diagram. Look at this diagram. L is the length of winding and D is the diameter of the winding. Here L is more than D. L is more than D. So therefore we call it as a solenoid. So it is a coil, it is a solenoid. Now we take up what is a toroidal solenoid. We take up toroidal solenoid. A torus around which large number of turns of wire carrying current are wrapped is called as a toroidal solenoid. The cross section of the torus is a circle. Current loops can be clockwise or anti-clockwise depending upon the direction of current flow. Now look at the diagram. This is a torus whose cross section is a circle. Over this torus, a large number of turns of wire carrying current are wrapped. This is the direction of current flow. It flows like this, coming like this, going like this, coming like this, going like this. So these are the turns. These are the turns of wire wrapped around this torus whose cross section is circle. And this wire is carrying current. Each turn of the wire is carrying a current. So such a solenoid whose cross section is circle is called as toroidal solenoid. Now, after understanding the concept of coil, solenoid and toroidal solenoid, we proceed to our topic, magnetic field intensity at any point on the circumference of a toroidal solenoid. Magnetic field intensity at any point on circumference of toroidal solenoid. This is the circumference of toroidal solenoid. We have to find magnetic field intensity at any point on the circumference of this solenoid. It is a toroidal solenoid, of course. Now we develop physical situation. As usual, consider a toroidal solenoid with mean radius as d. This is inner radius, this is outer radius, so this is the mean radius d, carrying current I. This toroidal solenoid is carrying current I, having n turns as shown. The total number of turns in this toroidal solenoid is n, such that n, capital N, is equal to small n into 2 pi d. 2 pi d is the length of circumference, and this n, what is n? Where n is number of turns per unit length. This n is number of turns per unit length, and 2 pi d is the total length of this solenoid of radius d. Now, let P be any point on its circumference. So, we take this point P, anywhere you can take. We take this point P, where magnetic field intensity is to be determined. Magnetic circuit. After physical situation, we have to understand which way is the magnetic circuit in this situation. Now, since magnetic field due to each turn is same at every point on its circumference due to symmetry, therefore, it constitutes a magnetic circuit in anti-clockwise direction. Which can be assumed to be due to a straight conductor carrying current I as shown. Now here, if you use right hand grip rule, the direction of magnetic lines of force will be along the circumference like this, and this magnetic circuit can be assumed, like this, as if this magnetic circuit is due to a conductor in which current is flowing in this direction. So here you can apply again right hand grip rule. So magnetic lines of force are anti-clockwise, and then current is flowing upward. Now we apply Ampere's circular law to this situation. Here we can apply Ampere's circular law. So we have created the situation. Now according to law, we have line integral of magnetic field over closed loop is equal to mu 0 I. This field is due to each turn. ET means each turn, or this part we have already evaluated, that is equal to B into 2 pi d, because line integral of magnetic field over closed loop is equal to 2 pi d. B into 2 pi d. is wrong. B into 2 pi d. It is equal to B into 2 pi d. Or we replace this expression by B into 2 pi d. Each turn. ET means each turn. This field is due to each turn of the toroidal solenoid, and it is equal to mu 0 I as it is. Or from here we calculate B. B each turn is equal to mu 0 over 2 pi I by d. Mark it as equation 1. Now since this coil has n number of turns, capital N is the number of turns, and we have to find out the magnetic field due to n turns, that is whole toroidal solenoid. Now magnetic field due to whole toroidal solenoid. Since toroid has n turns, therefore magnetic field B will be equal to n into B each turn. But n is equal to n into 2 pi d, as we have mentioned earlier, where n is turns per unit length. Therefore, B will be equal to n into 2 pi d. In place of n, we put n into 2 pi d into B each turn, mu 0 by 2 pi I by d. And 2 pi d cancels. So we are left with only mu 0 n I. Or we write B is equal to mu 0 n I. The magnetic field at any point on circumference of a toroidal solenoid is given by this expression B is equal to mu 0 n I, where mu 0 is absolute permeability of free space, n is number of turns per unit length, and I is the magnitude of current flowing through the toroidal solenoid. Let us mark it as equation number 2. Now we come to discussion on this expression. Now it is very clear from the expression that magnetic field B is independent of radius d of the toroidal solenoid. Here we don't see any d, so it is independent of radius of toroidal solenoid. Second, it depends directly upon magnitude of current I. It depends directly upon magnitude of current I. And third, it directly depends upon number of turns per unit length. And fourth, of course, it also depends upon material of the core. This is the core part of this toroidal solenoid. If we insert some core of iron, of silicon iron, or ferrites, or simple iron, then the field would be multiplied by relative permeability of the material of the core. And we have to remember some data. Mu r for iron is 5000, for silicon iron is 7000, and for ferrite it is very high. So field also depends upon material of the core, that is BA is equal to mu r into B naught. If we don't put any material inside the core, then it will be B naught. But if we put some material inside the core, it will be multiplied by the relative permeability of the material of the core. And next, tomorrow we'll take up some questions to solve the problems depending upon the knowledge of toroidal solenoid. Tomorrow we'll take up. So thank you so much for today.